Let's take a look at what's going on with Dogecoin today, guys. Hope everyone's doing good. Alright, so in my last video, we were watching this uptrend right here. We broke that going to the downside, and once we did break that trend going down, I took profits and put up another limit order at this Fibonacci retracement level, the 50%. Right here, sitting at .294. I've been waiting for that .294. We didn't come down perfectly. It almost came down. It went down to around .3023, but that's not. It didn't fill my limit order. It didn't come down far enough to fill the limit order. So we came down, and then we started heading up. We started forming this little channel pattern. Let's go to the 1 hour time frame because that's what I was looking at. That's what I was looking at this on. We have this uptrend right here. Support, support, support. Broke it. Oops. Broke it right here, and that's why I thought that it was going to come down to the next Fibonacci retracement level, but we didn't quite get there. We got support all in this area, and then we bounced up, and then we started forming that channel that I was just about to start talking about. We had the top, resistance, 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 support, 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 but we broke that support recently, and now it looks like we might be heading back to the downside. This is on the 1 hour time frame. The other one that I was kind of looking at is the 4 hour time frame. This one looks like it's more like, this one looks like it's I don't know, like these red candles. It makes it look like it's gonna head more to the downside. In my opinion, on the 4 hour time frame. On the 1 hour, it looks like, I don't know, just like gradually going down. But and check out where we got resistance at, guys. The 38% level right here. This line that I was talking about, this yellow line that I also have a position on. But we came up, touched that line, touched that line, touched that line, touched that line, and then came up, touched it again. Got rejected to the downside. My point is these Fibonacci retracement levels, they act as resistance and as support right here. Boom, support up. That's why I was thinking if we come down, maybe we could hit that level, support, buy it up, and then come up. See what happens here. If we get resistance, boom, and then we start trending to the downside, we could sell it, or we can hold on and wait and see what happens with this trend that we form as we go up. And sometimes, instead of this rejecting us, taking us to the downside, sometimes it will bounce to the upside and break through it, and then we can start looking at the previous resistances and or the Fibonacci retracement, the next Fibonacci retracement level up. If this goes down and this breaks through this level like it kind of did over here, then it's possible that we could be looking at the next one, in which case I would be putting like a limit order. I just do spot. I don't do what's it called, leverage. So I'm just doing like spot trading. Yeah, so meaning like I have limit order. I'll put limit orders right here, and then I can trade off of those spot positions, kind of thing. Let's see. So what else do we have? So we have that going to the downside. In my opinion, it's the next spot that I'm looking at is that Fibonacci retracement level sitting at .294. And let me kind of zoom out and show you how I got here. Kind of talked about like the main important things already. But we had a big, huge run up on Dogecoin, big, huge run up, and you can do this on any chart. This is tradingview.com. If you're not familiar with that, then go to tradingview.com, sign up for a free account, set up your watch list and everything. I have a playlist. I'll show you at the end. But we had a big, huge run on Dogecoin, and like I said, you could do this on any chart. If there's a big, huge run, and then you start having trouble we start having trouble basically. Like you're on this big run, boom, boom, boom. You think it's gonna keep running, but it starts having trouble. Like it just starts. I don't know. We came up here, and okay, so when we were right here, I was looking at this like flag pattern, something like that. We broke out, but it was almost like a fake out where we just got this big pump, and then we kind of came down, and then we kind of found support, and then we were on this little thing, and we were having trouble this whole time though. Like right here, we formed a little top, we came up, came down, came up right here, formed another little top, and then it just had trouble in this area. Okay, so we're having trouble, right? We had a big huge run, we're having trouble pushing to the upside. At that point, then maybe we could think that it might be getting a correction, like it might be going to the downside. In which case, then we could get the Fibonacci retracement tool, drag from the bottom of the run to the top of the run, boom, something like that. At first, it was something like this because this was the top. And then we went a little bit higher, and once we broke this top, I was actually thinking, oh, it looks like we're actually breaking through the top. Maybe we're going to start running. And no, that did not happen. It just kind of went a little bit taller, and that happens sometimes. So let's go ahead and delete that. But that gives us, that Fibonacci tool gives us levels that we can watch going to the downside, or levels to kind of count on to retrace to, or correct to, or whatever. I don't know. Okay, so here's another thing that happens is we get a big huge run, and then it'll come down, and then bounce or come down maybe to 50%, 61%, who knows. 50% is very reasonable, and then bounce out something like that. Very possible. I mean, that's yeah, or even something like this, like boom, boom, and then kind of come back down. It did that. Like, let me show you. Let's go back in time a little bit. Let's go to the daily. When was it? It was even like right here. Let's see, what was I talking about? Corrections. Oh, back in this one. Let's see. I was looking at it the other day. Right here. So, yeah, the daily. Okay, so we had a big, huge run up. Boom. Started having trouble pushing through. Started getting correction. Actually, we were running on like a way more hardcore. Sorry. I wanted to zoom in on a whatchamacallit, a smaller time frame. But anyways, we had a big huge run up. We came down. We hit that 50% level. We had the top of the run to the bottom of the run to the top of the run. Got the Fibonacci retracement tool. Jumped from the bottom to the top. Gave us those levels to watch. Came down to the 50% level. Boom, 50%, and then got that huge run. And that's what I was talking about, where sometimes we could have a big run, retrace 50%. This one came all the way down almost to the 78% level, down here to around 16 cents. Definitely hit the 61%. Boom. And then after that, then that's when we got that huge run. But look where it kind of got a lot of support at is the 50% level. So when we, like I said, oh, and then you could also see here we did like one. Actually, this one didn't break through it though. But anyways, retraced 50%. Boom. Then got a huge run after that as well. And then that's when we really started pushing to the downside. So yeah, maybe it'll do something like that. I mean, that is what we're kind of hoping for, is buy the limit, buy the 50% level. I mean, that's what I kind of do, is I buy the 50% level, so that way if that does happen, if we'd start like taking off at like 50% or whatever, then it'll get a nice bounce. And that's what we were doing in this area too. If we kind of zoom out and kind of go back a little bit, this past year we were in this little Fibonacci retracement area, and I was just kind of focusing on these Fibonacci retracement levels as we, not that one, but as we came down. And then once it actually started to run, which it usually does pretty quickly. I mean, if you're just like investing in something, like in Bitcoin, I learned this in Bitcoin too. Just invest in it, and then one day it's like it could just start running, and yeah. So yeah, but we had a big run. We started having trouble, and then we looked for clues to take profits in. At least I did. That's what I was thinking, because we had such a big we had such a big run. I mean, we were accumulating in all this area. We had a nice, it performed very nicely. If we can take profit somewhere, that'd be great. So I was looking for signs. That, like I said, when we first kind of had trouble here, started coming back down. Then we started forming this bottom right here, support, 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 support right there. Then we broke that, going to the downside, and this is like in this area. That's when I was like, okay, this isn't looking. I mean, this looks like it might get a correction. That's when I was getting a little more confident. Even in this area, I was like, okay, let's set up the Fibonacci. Like, I don't know if it's going to get a correction yet. But once we started breaking this support that we had right there, like I was just talking about, that support, 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 support. Oh, this one didn't really support that much. But once we got that, then that's when I was like starting to get a little more confident on these targets. And these are the first 3 targets that I've been talking about for a while. 394, 338, and 294. We came down. I filled all 3 of those after taking profits, trying to accumulate Bitcoin, just like we did back here, just in case it goes up from here. And like I've been talking about, it's kind of cool being in these little boxes because I feel like it's almost a little bit more predictable. So yeah, the other thing that I've been talking about forever is these Fibonacci retracement levels. They give you like that 50% level to kind of try to accumulate back at. But the other thing that they do is they bounce and they act as support and resistance. So like right here, it got kind of rejected around that level. Let me zoom in a little bit because I know you probably can't see it. And let me get rid of this. Okay, let's go back to the 1 hour too, because you could kind of see this, like you could see this chart kind of, on the 1 hour it looks pretty, I don't know. You can see the trends on the 1 hour is what I'm trying to say. So we came down, filled this limit order, got support in this area. We didn't quite get support right on that level, but we went a little bit below it. But we bounced right at that area. If you were to put a limit order right here like I did, then it went above it. We came down, hit it, and then bounced above it. And then the next one acted as resistance very close to it. We broke through it a little bit, and we're able to stay above it for a few hours. Each one of these candles is 1 hour. And then we got rejected and started heading to the downside. I thought we were going to come back down, hit that level again, 294. I was hoping for that because I sold right here. Came down. I was hoping that we could fill that limit order, but we didn't. We just went. We went pretty close right here, but we didn't quite do it. We started curving again, going to the upside. Right at this Fibonacci retracement level, we started bouncing to the upside. The point is that it's acting as resistance right now. So, and I'm hoping that we can come down and get support again. Maybe it'll come down. But I've seen a lot of other times too where I've been kind of wanting it to go all the way down there, and it'll kind of hang out in the middle of the Fibonacci retracement level, kind of like it did right here. So let's see what happens. I mean, it's not perfect, but it kind of does. I mean, check out how almost perfect that is right there. Boom. And then right here too, support, resistance, resistance. We didn't quite come down all the way right here. It would have been nice to fill that limit order and then bounce out. And then right here, we had that support right here, support, 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 right into the upside. We had resistance right here, and then we actually broke that trend line going sideways. The other thing I do when we break trends, just to give it a second chance, just look for a confirmation, or at least if you can make a move right here. And then like if it does this, so I'll look at the bottom. I'll look at the bottom, something like that, and then I'll look at the top. Let's see, something like that, maybe even something like that. So if it, okay, so it broke the trend right here, right? We had this uptrend. We broke it going sideways. That's what I'm talking about too, is I like to give it a kind of a benefit of the doubt. So we have this top right here, and then we have this bottom right here. We have a bottom right here and a bottom right here kind of thing. So we have these two straight lines. If it breaks it going to the downside, this is also the confirmation that it's going down. If it broke it going to the, if it like kind of continued to bounce in between these and then broke to the upside, broke that to the upside, then that's when I would get less confident on the limit order and more confident on this position going up here possibly. But yeah, it broke it going to the downside, confirmation that in my opinion, makes me more confident that it is going to go down to .294. That's the next target in my opinion, is .294. That's why my next limit order is, like I said, I kind of sold some in here. I wanted to, let's see if we could accumulate more right there. And I don't know, let's take a look at Dogecoin compared to Bitcoin real quick, if you guys are still here. The other thing is, so we were doing really good against Dogecoin compared to Bitcoin. So on this chart, this is Dogecoin compared to Bitcoin. So if this chart is going up, then that's good for Dogecoin. It means that Dogecoin's outperforming Bitcoin. If this chart is going down, then that means that Bitcoin is outperforming Dogecoin. Meaning, if it's going down, then you want to be in Bitcoin. If you want to, make more gains. If you want to make more gains when this chart, particularly Dogecoin to Bitcoin, then if it's going up, then you want to be in Dogecoin. Okay, so now that we know that Dogecoin, if it's going up, then that means it's good for Dogecoin, and if it's going down, it means it's good for Bitcoin. Then okay. But right here, we had this big, huge run up, and I kind of took out a lot of the lines that I had before that that I've been kind of talking about on this channel for a while. But we had like resistance right here, a bunch of lines, that we were breaking. Like we started breaking this one, boom, started running, and then broke the next one, boom, started running. We were breaking a lot of them, and we came up to one around right here. This previous resistance right here, that's when we had trouble. We couldn't quite break through it. Ever since then, that's when we started having trouble. So we had resistance, support. We were basically bouncing in between those. I was hoping that we could bounce to the upside and then we could get a big, huge move to the upside, because from this resistance to the next one was a really big one. It would have been a nice, big, huge move. Like I said, if this chart's going up, then it's good for Dogecoin. A lot of Bitcoin money probably is going into Dogecoin, is what this chart kind of means. If this chart is going down, then a lot of Dogecoin money is probably going into Bitcoin. So I was hoping that we could break through that resistance, break through the upside, and then really take off, but that didn't happen. We broke to the downside. And then we've had this big, huge kind of run to the downside. In my opinion, this is why I like Dogecoin, though. It's because we have, it's very volatile. It's even more volatile than Bitcoin. We have it's kind of like good for swing trading, I think. But yeah, it had this big, huge run to the downside compared to Bitcoin. But what I'm looking at now is we have support right here, and support right here. We have this uptrend right here. It looks like we've kind of been testing it. Looks like we've been kind of getting support on it and testing it. Looks like we might be breaking through it. I don't know. I'm kind of curious. If we break through it, then it's like I said, if it's going down, you want to be, your money is at least a little, you'll be losing probably less money in Bitcoin, or I don't know. It could mean that if this goes to the downside, it could mean that Dogecoin might be going down, or that Bitcoin is going to be going down less than Dogecoin. But yeah, if it's going down, then it's not good for Dogecoin. It's better for Bitcoin. It's actually good for Bitcoin, should I say. It could be a good sign for Bitcoin. Having said that, let's take a look at Bitcoin, because that's another thing that so we had a target of 118,000. We got super close to that. I'm kind of curious if we need just to cool off, maybe go down to like 50% and then come back up, like I was talking about for Dogecoin, because we had a nice little run right here. I'm just looking at this small little run and doing the Fibonacci retracement on that. Looks like we're right at that 23% level right here, the red level. Looks like we're testing it. I'm kind of wondering if we're going to come down, maybe retrace to the 50% or 38%. And it seems like Bitcoin doesn't retrace as far down as like Dogecoin. But so right now we're at 23% at 95,000. The 38% level is 87,139 approximately, which kind of lines up with this previous support right here. That's very reasonable. And then the 50% is at 80,595. And that kind of lines up. If it kind of went like this, then that kind of lines up with that trend line. Let's see where we got that from though. We got that from these little supports right here. Support, trend line going to the upside. So I don't know. Let's see. I mean, those are the three possible spots that I'm looking at on Bitcoin. We are trending down technically though. Let's actually adjust this. So we had resistance going to the downside. We actually broke it going up. I don't know. It looks like we're getting more resistance right here. Let's go ahead and drag that trend line, something like that, because it's having so much trouble right there. That's what I think, in my opinion. But look at the 23% level. So we have the 23% level right here. Look at where we're getting support at. Boom, bouncing right there. Got a nice little bounce. Having trouble breaking through it, going to the downside. It doesn't mean that we're not going to break it going to the downside, but it looks, I mean, we were getting support on it right here. Like if we zoom in, let's go to the 4 hour. Not perfectly, but right around the area. We came down. Boom. Couldn't stay below it. Boom. Couldn't stay below it. Boom. Having trouble breaking through it, going to the next level. So it is interesting how these Fibonacci retracement levels come into play. Maybe it's coincidence. I don't really think so. I think it's, I don't know, market psychology too. I don't know. Retracing 50% down though, that kind of makes sense though. Like we had this big huge run. Now it needs to go down a little bit for people to take profits and then buy back in and send it back going to the upside and make more people going in as it keeps running. So yeah, Bitcoin, I don't know. Let's see if it can break this 23% level and go down here. In my opinion, if Bitcoin's going down, it's kind of cool because, well, it's not that cool, but it's cheaper Bitcoin. And then the only thing with when if it's going down, then Dogecoin is probably going to go down too. Not like, oh, it's going to go down to zero. I'm just saying it's going to get a correction and it could get a big one too. You could already kind of see that it's already, Dogecoin has a 5%, it's red 5%. A lot of the other ones aren't even 5%. Sushi and Uniswap. Sushi's 7%. Uniswap's Uni is 6.3%. Dogecoin, Atom 5% in negative, or red, should I say? But yeah, that's, like I said, it's kind of one of the reasons I like Dogecoin is because it does go down pretty quick. And it goes up pretty quick. It does perform pretty good on both sides of the coin, going up and going down. So yeah, let's see if we can. And like I talked about, check it out on tradingview.com. I try to like explain some of these tools and give you ideas to try on your. You can, I don't know, try and see what's going on. But the Fibonacci retracement levels, like I was talking, what I was gonna say is they bounce in between them. Just go check it out on your own chart. Set up the Fibonacci retracement levels from the bottom of the runs to the top of the runs. Do it on different charts and or different coins and see how far they go down. Or maybe if they start going down, look at the 50% level. Maybe try to put in a limit order right there and see if it gets a bounce right there. Sometimes it goes lower. And depending on like if it's good or not, like I don't know, like I said, like in this area here, I was just like kind of investing into Dogecoin, you know what I mean, on the Fibonacci retracement levels and trying to trade them as well, accumulate. And then once it actually took off, then it was actually worth it. So yeah, I just think it's a matter of dollar cost averaging, either long term, which is like today's payday, I want to put some money into Bitcoin, like just blindly, or dollar cost averaging as in you think that we're going, we are going, if we're going down, okay, so we run up, we take profits, we think we're going down, then we start dollar cost averaging on the way down as well. Not just, I mean, that's how I do it. I know a lot of people will call. I remember back here in this area, we were falling down and someone was like, I'm not putting money back in until it hits 8 cents or something like that. And I was like, okay, I don't know if it'll do that. It was like somewhere over, I don't know, it was like somewhere over here or something like that. And it actually did come down and hit 8 cents. And I was like, wow, that's crazy. And then right after it hit 8 cents, it ran crazy. So, I mean, if you can call it, that's cool. But I don't know. I mean, I don't, it's easier to like dollar cost average, manage your risk or spread out your risk a little bit. In my opinion, that's how I go about it anyways. It's risk management, I think, is the dollar cost averaging and the spreading out the positions, buying at different levels. And then also the other thing, like I said, is I bought right here, came up, sold just this position. Now I'm just playing with that, just this one position that I had down here. I still have these other ones over here that I bought Dogecoin at, but we're just playing with this one. If it could keep bouncing like this, then maybe that position will grow, and then eventually, hopefully it'll break this to the upside and just start breaking through to the upsides. Boom, boom, something like that, and then actually break out of the top. And then that's when we could really start seeing a big move again. Maybe. I mean, let's see how far it goes to the downside. But like I said, the Dogecoin to Bitcoin chart doesn't look too great. And then it looks like Bitcoin might be getting a correction. So, I don't know. We'll wait and see. And let's see how far it goes down, or let's see what it does. I'm looking at .294 as the next level, though. If we continue to head down after that, the next level that I'll be looking at is a 61% level sitting at .249, which also kind of lines up with this support right here, where we have support. This line got moved or something like that. Let me see. Something like this. Actually, you know what? I want to talk about the moving averages too. So, I mean, this 29.249 kind of lines up, with this trend line right here that we get from these supports down here. Boom. So I don't know, maybe it'll go down there. If we break through that trend line, then we might be looking at the next one, which is .18.1857. I don't know, we're gonna have to wait and see how far it goes down. But like I said, I'll just be dollar cost averaging on the way down, waiting for it to go back up, just kind of slowly accumulating again, trying to anyways. So looks like when I was talking about it going down up here, I wasn't as crazy as I thought I was, which I did think I was crazy. Because I don't know, it didn't seem very popular opinion up here that we were going to go down. So, I mean, at least I don't watch Dogecoin YouTube, but in the comments anyways. So yeah, let's see. Is there any other thing that's it? I think that's about it, guys. I think hopefully .294 we get that limit order filled, and then we could bounce to the upside. Maybe we could just keep bouncing in between these things forever. I don't care. That'd be cool in my opinion. Just keep bouncing in between them and then building that Dogecoin position. Let's see, and we'll see if this one even acts as support. Maybe it'll even go down to the next one. I don't know. We'll see what happens. Let me know what you guys are thinking, though. If you guys like this video, hit that thumbs up. We're almost to 10K subscribers. If you guys want to hit subscribe, that'd be cool. If you want to check out the last video where I talked about some of these things, I think I talked about the .294 target, but we didn't quite hit that, as you can see in this video. But check out that video right here. And then if you want to check out this playlist, it'll help you get started with TradingView. All right, if you guys like this video, hit that thumbs up, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.